You're listening to the Real Estate Entrepreneur Podcast with Terrence Murphy, where we cover sales, investing, and entrepreneurship with an emphasis on real estate. Each podcast, Terrence and his guests will bring you informative and inspiring information within the real estate industry.
Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Entrepreneur with Terrence Murphy. Really excited today. We're going to freestyle a little bit. So I'll start off with a quote. You won't get wealthy from salary alone. Inflation steals your wealth. So invest. Buy assets, not liabilities. Never spend more than you make. Pay yourself first. Always. Compound interest works wonders. And savers are losers. So y'all been hearing me talk about that. I'm going to pivot a little bit. I've been talking a lot about investment properties and why you should invest and why you should create multiple income streams, all those kind of things. But today, I'm going to be talking about the brokerage. I've been getting a lot of questions about why I just made the merger with EXP. And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit today because I think it'll be good just to get it on record and stop answering that question a million times a week. I know a lot of people are intrigued because my wife and I ran one of the top independent real estate brokerages in Texas. And we were a part of Leading RE, which is they take the top number one and number two real estate brokerages, independents in each market, and they put them in a network. So it's 550 companies, 150,000 agents around the world were in this network. And over the last 4 years, TM5, we won the Momentum Award, meaning we were growing at a rapid pace year over year, just as fast or faster than any other company in that network. So that brought notice to a lot of companies. I won't be able to cover it all, but I'll try to hit some high points. But really the topic of this episode is why? Why EXP? Why did you do what you did with your real estate brokerage? And the cool thing is, probably right around 2015, 16, we started getting notoriety with the scale in which we were growing our brokerage. It was a startup idea on a napkin. We took it from a startup idea. TM5 was literally just me as one agent till we got it to where we were doing right under 1,000 deals a year. And I think last year we did 175 million in volume. So over the last 7 or 8 years, we did right almost at $1 billion in total volume in College Station, which is for a startup company by some 20-year-old non-experienced people. It's a big deal. And so I think as we started growing and doing things, we were doing it different. And that got a lot of attention. But there was a season in my life where I really didn't want any notoriety. I had enough from playing sports and being an athlete in college. And my last 2 years, I was the face of A&M football. It is what it is. And then going to the NFL, and when I had my injury, I just had so much attention around all that. I just needed to get away from people. So I took that time away. But as we started growing these businesses, and I even told my wife, I feel like I'm finna get drafted again. I feel like I don't know. I just felt like it was a lot of people pulling and grabbing and asking. And that's one of the reasons I created the podcast, so that I could put a message out there, put some content out there, and not be trying to personally mentor everybody that emailed me, text me, send me a message on social media. Because I even told Erica, I'm not starting any more social medias. I'm done. No TikTok, no Snapchat, no, I don't even know the rest of them. I'm just done. Because before you know it, you got 15 social media accounts and you're spending all your time trying to keep up with everybody. So the point I'm making is why EXP? For one, as a real estate broker, I got to a point where I literally traveled the world. I met with Gino Buffari and Chris Stewart at Berkshire Hathaway. I met with Robert Refkin at Compass. Went up to New Jersey and met with Mr. Weikert's team at Weikert Realtors. Met with Realty, was talking to them, was talking to Gary Keller. Gary and I met. We were supposed to meet for 5-10 minutes. And in 3.5, 4 hours later, we were still meeting, just talking shop, talking real estate. He's a genius. He's a smart guy. I love Gary because Gary actually helped pivot me and put me on the right path in which I am now. I'll always respect him for that time that he invested into me and Erica. But after 4 hours of being in the room with Gary, he said, man, there's something different, about you and Erica. Y'all have a story and I want to be a part of that however I can. So I thought he genuinely meant it, and he did. And he connected me with some other guys in his network. But traveling and talking to all these real estate minds at the highest level, we just kept coming to a conclusion that the real estate brokerage model was dead, the traditional model, which is grow agents, train, and just you follow this model. And I had been talking to my team, like I'm transparent. Like I told everybody what I had been thinking through, and I was trying to work on a technology package. I was trying to work on some other options for our brokerage. I was trying to create revenue streams for our agents, for not only to help them in thinking about investing. I was trying to create like a captive investment plan, which was going to cost us like 80 grand just to set up. We spent a good amount of money bringing in compensation masters to redo all our commission plans. We spent money on technology, hundreds and thousands of dollars, and we just kept chasing this model that Gary told me years before, and a couple other people told me that the traditional brokerage model was dead, and I just kept chasing it because I'm type A, I'm lone wolf, and I just believe I can figure it out. And so I kept chasing this model. I was still selling real estate at the same time, still was top 5 agent, top 10 agent, and not only in College Station, but probably in the state of Texas for individual producer. With one assistant, Rael and I, and then before Rael, Shannon and I, we did 40 to 60 million a year, every year, with just me and one assistant. So I was kind of torn in between, and I kept trying to help my agents and kept trying to show them the game. And we just got to a place where, we were chasing a model that just it wasn't going to work long term. And every pivot we would try to make, because we were a startup company, it just created a lot of uncertainty with the brokerage. And I got tired of having to always answer questions when I wanted to pivot. So, and if you know anything about a startup company, or any company for that, like there's $1 billion companies pivoting. And so we just kind of felt stifled. And so we got to a point where the Realty thing, we talked to Sotheby's, that, we literally talked to everybody under the sun. If you think about a company that's in the United States that's doing anything in real estate sales on a high level, they called us because we were the number one independent in the Central Texas area. But when I really sat down, there was a lady, Elizabeth, who said, hey, think about EXP not only for you, Terrence, but think about it for your agents. And that really struck a nerve with me, because the pain points I had as a broker was technology. We were always chasing technology. And, where Compass has SoftBank, which is $1 billion fund, probably $1 trillion fund that can fund their technology. Gary Keller obviously has 180,000 agents. And you think about some of the companies you have to compete with as an independent, trying to have an arms race with companies that have hundreds and millions of dollars behind them is tough. And so we managed, we had solid technology, but we kept chasing it. And then scalability. When you're trying to scale as a producing independent broker, at some point you can try to deny it all you want. And I did for years, but you're going to have to make a decision. Do you put your energy into your team and try to scale that, or do you put it into your agents and your brokerage? And I was doing both, and I was burning on both ends of the candle. I did all the training, all the coaching, and it got to a point where I just was exhausted with it. I was exhausted with having those same conversations. So, and then you think about scalability, technology, then profitability. You're also training up your competitors. A lot of times I was training people and they would come to me as no experience agents, and what most people say, they call them no name agents. And I would give them my brand. I would show them the systems on how to scale and grow. And it's just crazy, because they would get to a place and then they would turn around and say, well, I got here on my own, which blows me away, because I'm like, you at any other brokerage, you wouldn't have got there on your own. But like my pastor always says, if you ever see a turtle on a fence post, he didn't get up there by himself. Somebody helped put him up there. And so I got tired of running into that and that's just a part of the industry. That's why it's a 1099. People, they leverage you. They do that in order to get to a place where they feel they can do it on their own. And it's all good. I'm all about people doing stuff on their own. That's fine with me. Just do it the right way. And so I still never stop trying to give back and give to my agents and try to come up with options for them to have revenue streams. And EXP, the liability, the E&O, all those things is what me as an independent broker, because this wasn't just a one-off decision. Like, I've been chewing on this for 5-6 years, and I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of broker owners. And if you literally had us write a letter saying what our pain points were and took our names of our companies off, we are all dealing with the same issues. Broker owners and team leaders are all dealing with the same problems. But what happens is we don't know where to go if you're an independent. So you just keep mudging and fighting through the mud, and you don't realize, like, you're chasing a model that is not going to work. And so you got to make a decision. And so my decision was to focus on expansion. So we really doubled down on getting ready to expand TM5. And so we're going to do tactical expansion teams. We're planning on having 20 teams doing $50 million a piece, which is $1 billion a year in sales. You may say that's crazy. Like I said before, we did $175 million last year. So I'm just taking these teams, and instead of having a 60 agent, 80 agent, 100 agent brokerage, we're going to have small tactical teams. But yeah, we're getting ready to plant teams in San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, Austin, Tyler, East Texas, and in every state. And so I took my personal business. I brought on an expansion partner, brought on a couple agents, and shoot, in 2021, we're already at 50 million in sales. And it's first week of May, April. I don't even know what it is. So we'll do 100 million this year with 5 to 6 agents on a team. So I feel very strong about the systems that we have. And I truly believe that I can plant that same expansion model in other markets, and that team can do 50 million. So if an agent is out there doing 5 million, 3 million, 10 million, 12 million, and they're running themselves in the ground, they're working 7 days a week, they have no assistant, or if they do, that person's exhausted also, I can come in with the right systems, processes, and help them get to 50 million profitably, or probably even more than that. Because if my team in College Station, there's 5 agents, can do 100 million, I'm pretty sure we can do 50 million in these other markets. So, but yeah, I mean, the liability was a big deal. When you're the broker, you carry the liability for every person in the building that does anything with real estate. Every email, every transaction, every call, every text, everything their assistant does on their contract. I had to carry the liability of that. So our E&O was out of the roof, and the liability just got crazy. And we know lawsuits are getting more prevalent in real estate. And I kept going to my agents, and I would train them on things and tell them about stuff as it was coming up. And I get it. I get it. When you're busy, you're not really listening. And then that same week, an agent will go out and do something that I just trained on. And I just got tired of that situation happening. And so now EXP is the broker. And so I merged my company. I don't have to do training as much anymore. They do 60 hours of live training a week from Icon agents. And they take the top 1% of their agents and they have them do the training. So soon I'll start training on topics that I'm fairly competent in, which is luxury, farm and ranch, growth, setting up teams. And that 60 hours of live training, obviously one person, me, or just me and Erica and my staff, there's no way we can provide 50 to 60 hours of live training every week. They have managing brokers now. So my agents have direct access to brokers in the world that they can go to and ask questions. I don't have to spend $75,000, $80,000 a year on E&O insurance. I can now scale. So the cool thing now is, you guys might have saw on social media, if you look on my Instagram or Facebook, we were in Mexico with EXP because they just rolled out a whole country. So where, agents are talking about, oh, were you, you lost a couple agents in the transition. I went to my team. I wanted to meet with them in person. We had Snowvid happen. I wasn't able to do that. Every other time I've made any transition with the company, I've met with them in person. I gave them months and months in advance notice. I didn't get that luxury, so I had to do it on Zoom. But at the same time, they're like, oh, you had a couple agents leave. Yeah, but I'm rolling out countries now. Like, think about that. Like, look, I want to bring over anybody who wants to be a part of my organization, but I'm actually, getting ready to roll out Canada, South Africa, Colombia, and Mexico. So we're global now. So we're really not only local, but we're global, and we're truly local and global. And then the other thing that's been coming up is, how do I join your organization? Well, there's a couple ways. We are just looking for people who want to be a part of our ecosystem, who see the value in what we're doing at TM5. We know we have something special. Now we're going to take it outside of Bryan College Station. You can be a part of what we're doing in multiple ways. But I would just say, set an appointment, get with me, let's talk about it. But we're looking for expansion partners, people who want to fly our TM5 flag, use my exact systems that got me to $1 billion in sales, or $1 billion in sales within the next 50 days. And that will get you to 50, 75 million a year. So you'll be my expansion partner. You'll fly the Terrence Murphy team TM5 flag. And I'll show you your systems. We'll have our service staff service it out of College Station, and I will show you everything that it takes in order to get your life back. Because right now, realtors are on hamster wheels. We work 7 days a week. We are always subject to whenever our clients want to call us at 10 at night, Sunday morning at 7 a.m. It's just, we're not running a business. And I can show you guys how to do that. The other one is, you can still join our organization and be a part of EXP, but fly your own flag, have your own brand, whether you're a single agent or a broker. I'm talking to a lot of broker owners, especially broker owners that have been in my masterminds over the last couple of years. Some of them have 50 agents. One of my broker owners has 950 agents, and they're just tired. And so we're all running into the same thing, whether you have 20 agents or 1,000 agents, it's the same issues. And we can put together and collaborate on how to scale and grow and do those things. So there's a lot more to it than that, but I keep getting that question. And so I wanted to hit it. But mainly, honestly, EXP, where else do you see agents have ownership? Unless you are the broker owner of the company, you have no equity, period. Whether it's a franchise, independent or not, you have no ownership. My wife and I obviously own 100% of the company. So we didn't come over for EXP to get ownership. We already had ownership. We didn't come over to EXP to make more money on our agents. We were already doing that. We saw the opportunity for our agents that now they can get ownership. They can become a shareholder in $1 billion company, because EXP is a publicly traded $1 billion company. Look it up, EXPI. But also they can earn stock, and they can create other multiple income streams for themselves and get agent healthcare and so many things that you can provide when you have scale. So look, I was one of the people, because I've been talking to EXP, Compass, really, I've been talking to all of them since 2015, 6 years. And I was one of the people that laughed at EXP. I was like, man, that cloud-based stuff's not going to work. Like, that's not going to happen. But when COVID hit and you had millions and millions of square feet of commercial space that no one was using in the real estate sector, and EXP is doing this cloud-based online portal, and they doubled their agent count. They had 4,000 agents at this time last year. Now they're at 54,000 agents, and they're growing by 1,500 agents a week. There's no other company in the world growing that fast. And it's because agents are waking up. Like, I'm going to ask you this question. I want your answer. Just think about it. What realtor retirement party have you been to? Zero. Because realtors don't retire. Everybody knows realtors die. That's how they get out of the industry. It sounds cruel, but it's not my quote. I'm just repeating it. They just sell real estate till they're 60, 70, 80 years old. And it's like, because they don't have an exit strategy. They have no ownership. They have no 401k. They have no investments. They have no health care, and they just run themselves in the ground. And that model is just not going to work as people speed up and want more from us as realtors. The reason they want to look at their iPhone is the microwave industry. They want information faster and faster and faster. So two things that if you don't have a team that you're joining, or if you're not growing a team and getting service staff, you're not going to make it. Because there's no way. There's 180 tasks on each transaction. If you're trying to do it all on your own, you are not going to make it. You need to reach out to me and let me help you set up some systems, because you're going to run yourself in the ground. I know. I tried it. And if you don't own real estate or are taking your commissions and investing it in real estate, that's why the podcast is called Real Estate Entrepreneur, because I want you guys to think further than being a realtor. You got to be investing your money into something that's going to produce when you can't go out and sell real estate one day, because we all get old. And so that's where you see 50, 60, 70-year-old agents. I even know 80-year-old agents still selling real estate. I'm not saying they have to, but I'm saying they have to. I don't want to sell real estate when I'm 70. I don't want to sell real estate when I'm 80. I sure don't even want to sell real estate when I'm 60. I don't want to sell real estate not many more years than where I'm at right now, because it's a grind. We get ran in the ground. But I love it. I'm passionate about it. It's a great industry, especially for young, hungry people. I got into it in my 20s. Perfect. 20s, 30s, and 40s, even 50s is great for real estate. Once you get past the 50s, man, it's tough to hunt like that. And remember, every time we do our job, we get fired. How many other industries is that happen? Like, can you imagine when you do your job, you get fired? We get fired, because if I help someone sell a home and help them buy a home, they don't really need me anymore. So that's why EXP made sense for me, to help my agents have options, have revenue streams, have equity in $1 billion company. And then for me personally, to offload the brokerage, and from a training standpoint, from a liability standpoint, from a E&O and all those things, that the fees and stuff we had going as independent. But the main reason I did it was to be able to scale and grow. And so now, just last week, we posted about us being in Mexico. We had over 20 agents from around the United States reach out to us and say they want to be a part of our organization. We had agents in Georgia, Houston, Dallas. We had agents in Florida, agents in New York that see what me and Eric are doing at TM5, and they want to be a part of what we're doing. So we're looking for agents all over the nation and in 14 countries. And don't be surprised, man. We're going to be at 10,000 agents probably in the next 5 years. So that's what I wanted to chop it up about. I know I'm talking in circles, but that's just a small portion of what EXP has provided to me and Erica. And then the last one is freedom. Man, the freedom to be able to, hell, I'm sitting right now in my house with a workout t-shirt on. And while I was running the brokerage, I felt the need to be at the office day in and day out. And was I always there? No. But I felt the need to be there. I always kind of felt like it was a ball and chain around my leg. And I was always on call. It's like being a professor. Your office hours never stop. And that became heavy. I'm still here for my agents and I still help them. I'm just not answering those basic questions like how to set up a contract. I'm not doing that anymore. So the freedom of giving up some of those lower level conversations on how to set up my CRM, I'm not doing that anymore. When I talk to people, it's about how to grow, how to leverage, how to invest, how to do big things, how to grow their net worth, how to track it. And I'm still passionate about those topics. I'm still going to be teaching people, and I'm actually I'm finna roll out a whole new suite of things that I'm doing for agents that are a part of my organization, and how we're going to be leveraging other agents in the EXP network, because I've created this new group of agents that we're all rolling in the same direction. So appreciate you guys. I know there's a lot of talking, but that's why you saw the merger of TM5 with EXP. We didn't sell the company. People are saying that. People are saying we're moving to New York or Hawaii or Colorado or shit. I've heard it all under the sun. Not moving anywhere. I'm still going to be in College Station. Although some of the agents probably want to see me move, but I'm not leaving College Station. And we didn't sell the company. You know, we had some agents that we all went in our own way, but we still brought over 32 people with us. And truth be told, I'm already bringing on 30 more agents in the next 30 days. So I didn't really lose anything. It was just pruning the tree and going in the right direction. It's all love either way. I'm still going to do deals with any agent in College Station and any agent in the United States that want to do a deal. It's no hard feelings. But yeah, I mean, we're not moving anywhere. We're here. College Station will be the hub for TM5. But yeah, we will be expanding around the state, and we will be expanding into other countries and in other states. So that's the gist on it. That's the lowdown right out of my mouth. But yeah, that's it, man. Appreciate your time. I want you guys to know, like, I'm always going to shoot you straight. I'm not going to give you no BS. That's not me. If you need something, just hit me up on my Instagram or go to my website, terrencemurphy.com. We're getting ready to roll out our Terrence Murphy Coaching in the next 30 days. So keep an eye on that. Online courses should be up in the next 60 to 90 days. So thanks again for being a loyal listener. If you could do me one favor, I know you guys are busy, but if you're listening to this episode, take 30 seconds and could you write me a 5-star testimonial on whatever platform you're listening on, or share it with one of your friends, because I know that this podcast is making an impact. I'm getting all your letters in the mail. I'm getting all your messages on Instagram and LinkedIn about how you've learned so much over the last, I guess, couple months from the podcast. So it's all love. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of The Real Estate Entrepreneur with Terrence Murphy. Please subscribe on whichever platform you are listening and consider leaving a 5-star review, as that will help us gain traction and continue to bring you knowledge in the real estate industry. For more content, head over to terrencemurphy.com.